Hello, welcome to the self-learning platform by Dr. Sushma Singh. Today we start Unit 3, Aristotle, and our topic is political ideas of Aristotle. And we are going to discuss theory of justice. Like his teacher Plato, Aristotle believed that justice is the very essence of the state, and that no polity can endure for a long time unless it is founded on a right scheme of justice. It is with this consideration in view that Aristotle seeks to set forth his theory of justice. He held the view that justice provides an aim to the state and an object to the individual. When perfected, man is the best of animals, but when separated from law and justice, he is the worst of all. Like his teacher Plato, Aristotle regarded justice as the very breadth of the state polity. According to him, justice is virtue, complete virtue, and the embodiment of all goodness. It is not the same thing as virtue, but it is virtue and virtue in action. Justice is virtue, but it is more than virtue. It is virtue in action, that is, virtue in practice. Reason is, for example, a virtue, but the reasonable or rational conduct is justice. Truth is virtue, but to be truthful is justice. What makes a virtue justice is the very practice of that virtue. So, Aristotle says the good in the sphere of politics is justice, and justice contains what tends to promote the common interest. For Aristotle, justice is no less significant, for he regards justice as the very virtue of the state. It is justice that makes a state, gives it a vision, and coupled with ethics, it takes the state to be heights of all ethical values. Justice saves the state from destruction. It makes the state and political life pure and healthy. Ross says Aristotle begins with recognizing two senses of the word. By just, we mean what is lawful or what is fair and equal. For Aristotle, justice is either general or it is particular justice. As a part of general justice, a part of complete virtue, if by general justice we mean complete virtue. According to Aristotle, general justice is complete goodness. It is complete in the fullest sense because it is the exercise of complete goodness not only in himself but also towards his neighbors. Particular justice is a part of complete general justice. It is therefore a part of complete goodness. It's one aspect. A person seeking particular justice is one who observes laws but does not demand from the society more than what he deserves. Particular justice is of two types: distributive and corrective. For Aristotle, distributive justice hands out honors and rewards according to the merits of the recipients, equals to be treated equally and unequal unequally. The corrective justice takes no account of the position of the parties concerned, but simply secures equality between the two by taking away from the advantage of the one and adding it to the disadvantage of the other, giving justice to one who has been denied and inflicting punishment to one who has denied others their justice. One can compare the notion of justice as given by Plato and Aristotle. For Plato, justice is the performance of one's duties to the best of one's abilities and capacities. For Aristotle, justice is the reward in proportion to what one contributes. Plato's justice is related to duties. It is duties oriented, whereas Aristotle's justice is related to rights. It is rights oriented. Plato's theory of justice is essentially moral and philosophical. That of Aristotle is legal. Both had a conception of distributive justice. For Plato, that meant individual excellence and performance of one's duties, while for Aristotle it meant what people deserve, the right to receive. Plato's justice is spiritual, whereas Aristotle's practical. That is, it is virtue in action, goodness in practice. Plato's justice is related to one's inner self, that is, what comes straight from the soul. Aristotle's justice is related to the man's actions, that is, with his external activities. Aristotle's justice is worldly, associated with man's conduct in practical life, of course, with all ethical values guiding him. But he was unable to correlate the ethical dimension of the justice to its legal dimension. His distributive justice means rewards in accordance to one's ability is far, far away from the realities of the political world. It is indeed difficult to bring about a balance between the ever increasing population and ever decreasing opportunities of the state. Here we want to wind up this lecture. Thank you so much for your attention.